33 local government chairmen in Oyo State have declared their unwavering support for Governor Seyi Makinde's leadership in the state. This is as the council chairmen came together to establish an association aimed at advancing the welfare of their constituents. Press reports that the local government chairmen made this announcement through a formal statement released following their gathering in Ibadan over the weekend. The statement made available to newsmen, however, did not specify the name of the newly formed association, nor did it address whether the Oyo local government chairman will be disassociating from the umbrella organization, the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON. Let me start with the barrister, sir. We are seeing an unprecedented move in the annals of local government administration in Nigeria. A situation where, because of the recent Supreme Court ruling concerning caretaker committees and also reinstating the legislative powers to the speech and the comments and the legislation made by Martin Sameule-led House of Assembly of Rivers State. And it has gone a long way in affecting what is happening also in Oyo State. And the local government chairman there said that their loyalty to their boss is urging them to pull out of ALGON to form another association that is going to assist them in achieving their aims. Is this legal? Is this right? What is or what may be the motive if they are leaving ALGON, the only association per se for local government workers and those captured under the local government as a pressure group, as an organization?
Clearly, ALGON is an association of local government chairmen. It is not constitutional.
Okay.
The body is not provided for anywhere in the constitution. It is equivalent to the Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF,
okay,
which is an association of governors. It is also not provided for anywhere in the constitution. But the governors and the local government chairman, in exercise of their rights to freedom of association, created those bodies. So, in as much as you have freedom to associate, you also have the freedom to disassociate. So, if the local government chairman in Oyo State are choosing to pull out of ALGON, it is within their legal rights to so do. There is nothing illegal about it. There is nothing unconstitutional about it. They are merely expressing their rights to freedom of association. So, if they decide to leave and form another body, it is still within their rights, as provided under the Constitution, to form associations and express themselves freely. If they feel that ALGON is no longer meeting their needs, is no longer good for them, and they need a new association, of course, it is within their legal right to so do. There is nothing illegal about it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let me come to Doctor. Sir, with that, it seems like a precedence already.
Yeah.
Does it look like every other local government that is not comfortable with the happenings around the Supreme Court's pronouncements? Are they going to queue in? Are they going to do likewise too? Are we going to have another body that is going to mirror the ALGON in Nigeria very soon?
Well, one would speak from the perspective where, in as much as individuals have their rights to be for or against, this is a body that initially was speaking for the local government. And if a pronouncement is done by the Supreme Court, and they now think that their activities no longer suit what the previous association they found themselves is, then they will definitely come up with a body. What I should be looking at is the one they are trying to switch to. Is it registered with the CAC? Is it a body that tends to apply law, or it's just an opportunity for them to do what they want? But I think for them to have openly said they will be behind the governor of the state, I think their level of understanding would have also, before moving to that aspect, they would have also registered it or would not want to work unconstitutionally.
Okay, but be that as it may, sir, back to the barrister, sir. Do you see the caretaker committee chairman in Rivers State towing along the same path in solidarity with their boss, the governor of Rivers State, sir?
Well, we have to make this point very, very clear. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, does not recognize caretaker committees at the local government level. It does not. There are plethora of Supreme Court decisions on this. This is not the first time. Many, many years ago, the Supreme Court have been giving the decisions that caretakership is not known to law. And that is in view of Section 7 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which clearly states that a system of democratically elected local governments is hereby established. That is what the law knows. Now, it is now within the powers of the various states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria to ensure their existence through a law that will be made by them. The Constitution didn't stop at that. It went ahead to give them certain functions. So, talking about the caretaker committee members pulling out, first, caretaker committees everywhere in Nigeria is unknown to law. And the funny thing is that about 14 states or so are run by caretaker committees, which is clearly unknown to law. So let us assume that elected local government chairman wants to form an association. Like I've stated earlier, it is within their rights. Maybe they've not concluded all their plans, they've not concluded all their consultations. It is for this reason that they've not made us understand the new organization they are going into. By the time they consult among themselves, agree on a name, agree on objectives and things like that, they can now proceed to register. So, if caretaker committees used to be a part of this Algon, then...
Because right now they are members of Algon already.
I have to lay the foundation.
Okay.
That caretaker is not known to law. But if by way of exercising their rights of association, they usually participate in Algon activities, then they will be at liberty to choose whether to remain with Algon or to join the new association. But let me just state this. You see, it was Hannah Arendt that said that when you make a law that is impossible, you make civil disobedience very, very easy. You see people pulling out of Algon simply because the Supreme Court gave a certain decision. I am a lawyer, and everybody, including myself, we are bound by the decisions of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. But you see, when certain decisions are being handed down, and people feel that this decision is not people-oriented, they feel bad about it. A case in hand is just the last week ex parte order that was given against the protest. You see, when decisions like that come, people feel like these people are not with us. They feel detached, and they want to take certain steps. So when a court is giving a pronouncement and people are not happy about it, it tells you something. If you look at, of course, some states are already in court to challenge certain sections of the Constitution in view of the Supreme Court decision. A case in hand is Section 162, subsection 6, which provides for a joint allocation of the local governments and states. What do you now do with that? If you say the local government is totally removed from the states, what happens to that section of the Constitution? So there are certain decisions that the courts give, and there are a lot of implications, and one of which is what is happening in Oyo State. So by the time they, meet themselves, consult, and come up with the body, whoever is at the local government level as a chairman is free to associate with whichever body he wants. That's just the way it is. You cannot stop anybody from associating with anybody. And that is why people are defying the judgments of last month. And they're going on with the protest. So that's just basically how it is.
Okay. I know that this particular matter concerning the caretaker committees will bring up a lot of issues.
Exactly.
And there are a lot of questions to ask. I'm just constrained by time. But I'll keep that for another day. But be that as it may, Dr. Sir, what will be the fate of those caretaker committee chairmen that have already made expenditures? I mean, yesterday, one of them was giving out 1 million naira to about, about 60 or I don't know how many again. But there are some heavy expenditure that has been, I mean, they've hit the ground running. What occurs when it coincides, it collides with the judgment of the Supreme Court, as we just heard, sir?
Well, I will state that, you know, normally...
Because the monies have to be accounted for.
Definitely, definitely. And this money is not what they give by hand. They are financial transactions through banking systems. Now, they have editors, they have all of that, so definitely there will be accounts for all of those things. But what I want to say is that this is not the first time. I would not want to... I'm not a legal practitioner, but I'm a managerial scientist, you know, and I'm a citizen of this country, and where it pinches most, one will have to aid. If laws are made for the people, to favor the people, not to undo the people, that much I know. And so if previously, this is not the first time we're hearing of caretakers. Now, caretaker issue is coming up because there are political or personal interests or whatever that is playing around it. But the Supreme Court has pronounced. Their pronouncement was basically for the local government to be independent. And I think citizens has roles to play. If, for instance, looking at the protests, nobody is happy with the costs of living. But academics is vital. Knowledge is powerful. If you know what is making you to suffer, it reduces the pain of that suffering. But if you don't know why you're suffering, you will find out that it's as if you cannot control your emotions anymore. If the caretakers that are there, I believe that the caretakers are not against the decision of the Supreme Court, except it is out of my knowledge.
But they're still making expenditure.
Good, they are caretakers. Now, you know, there are lacunas. I think the petitioner, the legal petitioner knows and could explain more of what lacunas is. If you think a judgment is given, and I believe that before the Supreme Court judges would have given judgments, it is based on the evidence before them. They don't just manufacture things. Now, if for any reason, this is not the first time caretakers are there. Caretakers are there. The governor of the state, I think there is pronouncement that they are trying to conduct the local government elections. What happens when the tenure of the people or the chairmen who were in office or offices, their tenure has elapsed and the election has not been done? So the only thing is that I don't think the Supreme Court is in the position, or maybe is looking at a situation where there will be chaos. But I think that they are looking at the governor of the state is the chief security officer of the state. And I think to an extent, he should be able to use his discretion to see how to maybe quell some crisis if they are trying to come up. He is not saying, as far as I've heard him, he has not said that there would not be local government elections. Now that the caretaker, the former chairman, their tenure has elapsed, what happens? They say there is no vacuum in power. I don't know if I'm right, because I think that is right. There is no vacuum in power. What happens? And I think maybe that's why the Supreme Court is emphasizing on the position of the chairman being in office and to be independent. I think processes are things that they don't just occur as rocket science. People will need to make out that room. And if they are trying to make out the room for the chairman to be elected officers, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, or maybe they kicking against it. So for any reason, if they see that the outcome in the state is in line with what the Supreme Court is saying or what the laws of the land is saying, because I've not heard any caretaker chairman or any of them coming to say they will not be respecters of law. If they say so, then they want to create a banana republic. So I think that the way the things are going, we should rather focus on how the election will hold. If you're good, the people will vote you. For instance, look at, I just want to talk about the protest.
No, don't worry, we'll get to that point. We'll get to that point. Okay.